All right, gentlemen, how are we doing? It's Wednesday and we are live once again just to hang out, to catch up, to sharpen one another, and to be stretched. I hope that your week is going all right. I hope that you had an amazing one so far. And I'm kind of like exciting. I'm exciting. I'm excited. I'm excited to come on here just to chill, just to chill. I got my cup of coffee here, and let's see who's gonna come on and join me this evening. Um, I hope somebody comes on. I don't want to have a mastermind by myself. All right, but you know how it goes. I know it's kind of like you have to stress yourself. That's how it goes, isn't it? You gotta like Kendrick. Don't you know I had a heavy day today? Um, I just want to chill with my wife, man. Leave me alone. I hear you, bro. That's me too. I feel you right there. I feel you right there. And Christmas is coming. It's approaching very fast, eh? Very fast, very very quickly. Christmas is approaching, and let me see. I'm sure I'm live. Um, and yeah, very soon we'll be starting to do some Christmas shopping and become even more busy. Um, but listen here. There's never um, you and I will never regret investing in growth. You and I will never regret investing in our development. Why is that? Because it makes us better. You will never regret investing in relationships. Well, it depends how the relationship turns out, isn't it? Because some of them sometimes go a bit skewed, and it's like, I put all my time, my money, and my effort into this relationship, and now this thing is not working. Yeah, that's relationships. Um, but yeah, but we gotta make the effort. We gotta make the effort because don't we should not allow life to happen to us. You make life what you want it to be. You make life. If you decide this is the direction that you want to go, bro, it's up to you, man. It's up to you. But no, if somebody say, Kendrick, no, man, God, no. God said, hey, listen here, boy, I give you life and I'm giving you death. Right here in front of you is life and death. You choose. We have the freedom to choose what we want to do with our life. Yeah. And please do understand that um, once you and I take responsibility of our own life, um, man, there's nobody. You will have that freedom to know. Listen, it's up to me. If this thing goes wrong, it's on me. It's not on nobody else. It's on me. And yeah, and that's kind of like the conversation that I love. Knowing how to make life work. Um, Especially when most of us on here we are Christian, isn't it? And if not everyone, um, I think sometimes what we do when we in a place of you know I've put my life in the hands of the Lord. The Lord will take care. Yes, you will, absolutely. I'm not undermining the fact that he has us in the palm of his hand. um, but do not neglect your responsibility. We should not do that. We should make sure, all right, what part do I play? Yeah. And last week we started a conversation. We were talking about how to stay on top of your game. What is there that you and I need to do to stay at the top of our game? Because we don't just want to just be all talk. We want to see some results in our lives. We want to see, no, this is where I was, and this is where I am right now. But what that's going to require is going to require you and I, day in and day out, do what needs to be done. And sometimes you are tired. Or is it only me? Sometimes you are frustrated. Sometimes you are discouraged. Sometimes you are scared. Sometimes you are confused and you have a lack of wisdom. But somebody is still waiting. Your family is still standing and waiting to hear. Kendrick, daddy, hey, the wife telling you, we need some answers. We need some direction. Come on, talk to us. And you yourself is like, empty head. You're like empty head, and it's like, wow, Jesus help me, Jesus help me. That's why I was even touching last week on uh, having an authentic relationship with God. Authenticity can take you a far away. Why is that? Because if you are real, you sometimes we go into the presence of God and we think like He doesn't know what's bothering us. No, He already knows. He already knows that. Listen here, this is what Kendrick is going through. This is how we're going to respond to this situation. This is what. But we go in there and we kind of like we wing it and we to kind of like all kind of tricks. No, just tell him, hey, sir, give me some direction, or whatever the case might be for you. So we touched on that last weekend, and if you don't have that authenticity when it comes to your relationship with him, but work on that. Why is it? Because it will really help you. Because kind of like living there's nothing worse than being in a relationship that is fake. Nobody has the courage to be themselves. Nobody has the courage to say like, listen, yeah, let's sit down. This is my issue. We gotta sit down and we gotta talk. This was my expectation, but you did not meet my expectation. And but everybody's kind of like dancing around. No, authenticity, being real and having the courage to be yourself. It's a powerful thing. So why can't we have that authenticity? Why can't we have that realness? Why can't we have it with God? Because He already knows anyway. Now listen here. I don't know who's gonna come on here. I hope somebody will come on. But listen here. I wanna continue to steer the conversation. Still talking about. I still want us to talk about how can we stay on top of our game. And obviously there's so many different kind of factors that it will come in there, but it's let me see, somebody just put the message. Let's see what it's saying. Oh, amen. I'm not sure who that is, my brother, but amen. Thank you so much. But listen here, so we want to continue this conversation talking about authenticity. Yeah. So, authenticity. No, that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about how to stay on top of our game. I was looking at this comment. It's very rare that anybody put a comment on there. So, like, what? Where did it come from? Yeah. So somebody needs to jump on here and join me for this conversation. But listen here. So let's continue. Just looking into how do you and I continue to stay on top of our game? Yeah. Now, last week we've mentioned, and we started off just mentioning a couple of things, and we said like, you gotta know how to obviously walk by faith. Don't undermine your faith, and we're talking about your thinking. Those two things, but we kind of like we're just touching on just touching on the surface of that. But I would like to go a little bit deeper and just just highlight a few things that that I believe that will add some value, to us. Now, when we're talking about faith and staying on top of our game. Give me a second here. Let me just open up something here quickly. When we're talking about faith, listen here. We live by faith. We live by faith. Faith is not an optional extra. It's not like today I can do faith, tomorrow I don't need to. No, it doesn't work like that, isn't it? The very thing that keeps us going is the fact that we know that, listen here, I don't have all the answers, but I know that I serve somebody that that has the answers. I serve somebody that can give me the answers, even though everything is not clear, even though everything seems like it's not falling into place. But I walk by faith. I live by faith. Yeah, and and the thing about faith, obviously, it's not based on how we feel. It's not based on uh, what you see. Um, it's not based on whether things are going your way or not. It's like I believe, whether it is going my way or whether it's not going my way, whether it is meeting my expectation or not. I I am convinced that for me to stay on top of my game, I can't do without faith. We were saying that everything that we even see around ourselves right now, everything that we can touch, everything that we can see, everything that we experience, where did that come from? It came from the unseen. It, you had to have faith to be able to experience what you're experiencing right now. Yeah. um, and I think one of the mistakes I believe we make is we made faith a Christian thing. We've made faith a religious thing. But even the unbeliever, I know that maybe I might mess up your head here right now, but even the unbeliever walks by faith. They might not know that they are doing that, but they are doing that. And but because we being intentional, and we know that there is something specific that we are working on. So we don't we when we walk by faith, we walk by faith intentionally. Yeah. We walk by faith knowing, all right, this is what I'm after. I know I can't see it. I know I can't smell it. I can't taste it. I can't hear it, because that's what it is, isn't it? If you don't need to walk by faith if you can hear something, if you can see, you can smell. If your senses are involved, you and I don't need to operate by faith, isn't it? But for you and I to stay on top of our game is, thank you so much. Somebody just put on here, by staying focused. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. How are you going to stay on top of your game if everything is catching your attention? No, you got to be focused. Thank you so much for popping that in there. I'm not sure who that is. For some reason, I can't see any names popping up, but thank you so much for that's a brilliant observation there. If we lack focus, there's no way that you and I will be able to stay on top of our game. Hey, Mr. Jordan, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for jumping on there. But I think that one of the questions that you and I most probably have to ask ourselves is this: when it comes to my faith, am I walking by faith, trusting in what? Trusting in who? Yeah. Because it's easy for us to say that, listen, yeah, I say I trust God will take me through this. I believe that God will take me through this. But we need to remember that the evidence of our faith, whether we really believe, whether you and I really believe, will be seen in our actions. It will be seen on. All right, you say you're walking by faith. Let's see how it's lining up with what you are doing. Let's see how it's lining up with how things are going in your life. because it's just easier said than done, isn't it? Now, obviously, the challenge is that um, all of us we are on different levels when it comes to our faith. Now, I want to kind of like look at a couple of things um, that makes people that can make you to be skeptical, or or kind of like misconceptions when it comes to faith. Just a couple of things that I want to highlight. Um, Now we can fall into the trap of saying kind of like we just ignore it. So we know that we're supposed to walk by faith, but you just ignore it. You do all kind of different things. Um, but that's where everything's supposed to start. Everything starts in the spiritual realm. That's where everything starts. Now, I know it's not a kind of a preaching session. So Kendrick, are you preaching today? No, I'm not preaching. I'm just sharing. Come on, now, stay with me. I'm just sharing. And obviously, if we want to make sure that we stay on top of our game, and knowing that we at everything derives from the from the spiritual world, if you like. So we can't ignore it. Do not listen here, gentlemen. Do not ignore the spiritual side of your life. Don't do that. That's the most powerful area that you and I can ever concentrate or focus on. Why is it? Because our because the Bible says that we walk by faith. We are spiritual beings. Before we even can function within in this material world, we are spiritual beings. So let's not ignore that. And the next one I want to mention is what we sometimes do. We misunderstand what does it really mean um, to live a life of faith. We misunderstanding it. Um, and if you just think about it, just kind of like think back when you got born again, and they were telling you, all right, from today onwards. Let me take a sip of water. From today onwards, everything is going to change. From today onwards, you have to make sure that you live by faith. Yes, because we walk by faith and not by sight. Thank you so much for that comment. We live by, we walk by faith, and not by sight. And just think back when you got born again. Uh, I don't know how many years ago. Somebody told you that from today onwards, this life is going to be lived by faith. You're going to have to make sure that you don't pay attention to the things that you can see. You don't pay attention to the physical realm. You have to focus on faith, focus on the unseen. But you and I know that that's not 100% correct, because the two goes hand in hand. Because we are spiritual beings, and we are living in a physical body, but we cannot misunderstand walking by faith. Misunder Because sometimes you think you're walking by faith, but you actually walking in stupidity. Apologies for my straightness there. Yeah, you're walking in stupidity. It's almost kind of like, you know that you are not feeling well. You are coughing all over the place, and somebody just asking you, "Hey, bro, are you okay?" It sounds like you got a little bit of a chesty cough there. And you're like, "No, chesty cough. What chesty cough? What? No, yeah, I can hear it." And it's kind of like, because now you think you're walking by faith. In the meantime, there your chest is getting all ripped apart, because you're misunderstanding the reality of a situation. Uh, yes, you are walking by faith, but if something is there, that needs to be sorted, you go and sort it out. So we have to know how to balance the two, and not misunderstand what it really means to walk by faith. But I know that you brothers are very sharp in the word. You know exactly what it means to walk by faith. When we walk by faith, we walk based on what the word is saying, isn't it? And then the next one I want to mention is don't discounting faith. It's like, nah, that's not really important. You know it's there. You know yet that you gotta walk by faith, but it's like it's like you just see it as just one of those things that that we gotta do, but it's not really that important. Listen here, our lives depends on it. In fact, our success even itself depends on it. Why is that? Because if you are ambitious, you should be, um, then you will need faith. I will need faith. Why is that? Because um, everything that we will reach for, whether in business, within your career, everything that we will reach for, we will not be able to. You and I can't reach for it because we can see it. You gotta reach for stuff that it freaks you out if you think about it. It's like, oh my goodness, I know I can't. I can see it in my head. I can see it in my imagination. Nobody believes when I'm saying this is what I would like that I'm going to accomplish. This is what I'm reaching out for. Nobody is believing you, but you know, that is what you're after, and that will require some faith to reach for something even before you can see it. But you know what? That uh, yes, it can't be seen in the physical realm, but you already see it within your imagination. You already, man, when you close your eyes, you can see that house, you can see that car, you can see that man there. You can see, if you're not married yet, you can see your wife, boy. Yeah, you can see it, and you have to be at the place. I have to be at the place where I can see it, because if I can't see it, I can't have it. Why? Because you gotta have it before you can have it. So faith is crucial. Faith is non-negotiable, man. You and I will not be able to reach very far if we do not walk a life of faith. Okay, because faith today, it will give you peace. Why will it give Kendrick? Why will it give me peace? It will give you peace because um, you live a life where you don't rely on reaching for things or reaching for what is ahead only because you can see it. No, even I mean, you go for stuff that even freaks you out. You go for stuff that it's like that seems impossible. Yeah, and that's a good thing, and that's what we're after. Uh, Yep, I love that comment that just saying that faith 31 years ago, still the same faith applies. That's right. Somebody has been born again for 31 years. Come on now, because we had to get we got born again by faith, and that's why we gotta live by faith. Yeah, and our faith is the substance. It is absolutely it is the let's see, faith. Our faith is the substance of things that we hope for and the evidence of things not seen. Yeah, man, that's it, bro. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And the thing is, when we are at a place where, remember, I was earlier I was mentioning about being authentic. I mentioned about authenticity. um, I believe that real faith is it's not something that is kind of like rehearsed. It's not something that um, when I think about faith, I think about trust. When you're talking about faith in God, Because if I say I have faith in God, say I'm trusting this being that say somewhere out there. I'm trusting. I'm putting my life in your hands, and uh, so trust. We cannot talk about faith without talking about trust. Yeah, because trust. I believe it. Trust is the foundation on which any relationship. I mean, I don't care whether you're talking about your relationship with your child, with your wife, with your colleagues, with your boss, with God. Every single relationship is built on trust. Yeah, and if I say that I walk by faith, I'm basically saying that I'm trusting God. That's basically what it is. I know I can't see it, but I'm trusting that He will carry me through. And that will keep you in the top of your game. That will, because you won't freak out when you won't freak out when things look like it's falling apart. You won't. Just like um, uh, for example, let me put it like this. I don't know if whether whether it's the same with you guys, but because women are very emotional, and if something goes wrong, they take it very personal. They kind of like it's amplified. Anybody know what I'm talking about? When if something, for example, in the house goes, kind of not when it goes wrong, when something is not going in line with what you're hoping for in the household goes wrong, the wife will kind of like amplify that, isn't it? Because of her emotions. But because of, I don't know whether a gentleman, you know yourself. I don't know whether you are also emotional and you kind of also amplified. But for me, I'm kind of like, I'm like just cool and calm, and it's almost like if you misunderstand me, you will almost like think I don't care. I don't know if somebody hearing me what I'm saying. It's almost like, when you know something is going to be okay. Something is, yes, it looks like it's chaotic, it looks like it's falling apart, it looks like, oh my goodness, we are about to die. Yeah, somebody, and it's like, and now the wife is taking it on, she's kind of expressing it and everything is like, no, no, calm down, because you're amplifying this thing with your emotions now too much. But now the thing that comes across is like, because I know it's going to be fine, even maybe she might even know it's going to be fine, but because of her emotions, it's just like kind of like all over the place. With when you talk about, but when you bring faith into the equation, it's like, no, it's almost like, we don't even talk about that. I know it's going to be okay. And it's about somebody say that is me too, bro. That is I know, sir. And it's like almost like it comes across like you don't care. No, I do care, but I don't need to flip out over it. I don't need to kind of like, throw my toys out of the cot. And it's like, no, I actually I do care, but the way I express myself is like it looks like you are cold. You like, no man, don't even talk to me about that. I know that it's gonna be fine. But now you have to kind of like find a middle ground, because now otherwise somebody is not gonna talk to you for a while. Oh, and that's the thing about the relationships, isn't it? It's so complex, because we are completely two different kind of human beings. One is male and one is female, and the way we take on things is completely different. But anyway, I want to bring that when it comes to faith. Your faith will be seen in the way. By the way, my wife is an amazing woman of faith. And she is. But the way she deals with it, everything needs to come out. Yeah, yeah. No. I'm not gonna keep this thing. Say, but we don't have to always talk about it. I know it's gonna. No, let's talk about this. Sometimes we as men just leave it. You just want to sweep it under the rug. And sometimes what we do, yeah, what we do sometimes. I don't know why we're going into this, but maybe this will help somebody. Sometimes what we do as men, we think when we don't talk about something, it will just go away. Any brother in the house is going to give me an amen. You think it's just going to go away? No, but we know that thing is lingering until we sit down and we talk about that. It's going to be there, isn't it? And it's like having the courage to find the balance and to sit down and say, all right, honey, I know things look like it's not coming together, or I know it seems like things are not falling into place, but you know what, we trust God. And then you stay at top of your game. We trust God. Yeah, but then what are we going to do? No, don't worry. uh, the the uh, uh, the answer to what needs to be done from our point of view, it will come. But let's not freak out. Let's not amplify this thing. Let's not make it bigger than what it. That's it. That's your, as men. That's our responsibility to make sure that things remain calm, and that's not always easy, because sometimes you kind of like just go with the flow. Yeah, yeah, things are burning down. No, 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 no. Calm down, calm down. um, because we live by faith. We don't live by what we see. We don't live by our emotions. We don't live by you know what is apparent in front of us. Yeah, is there, but you know God can change this thing just like that in a blink of an eye. My goodness. So I'm by myself today, and thank you so much for Mr. Jordan for joining me. That's much appreciated, sir. uh, but I hope this is helping somebody. I hope it's helping somebody. And let me mention a couple more things. um let me see. Because the key, I believe, is, like Memo was mentioning, authenticity. It is trust, being real, and knowing that because I know my God and because I trust Him, He won't just kind of like bring me this far and just kind of like, oh, sorry. I know that you depended on me, but I gotta drop you now. No, that's not Him. That's not how it works. No, no, no. It doesn't work like that. If you say you trust Him, trust Him. Trust Him, and trust is trust is a dangerous thing, but though, you know, trust is a very dangerous thing. Why is it dangerous? Because uh, you are opening yourself up. You are opening yourself, and you are making yourself vulnerable to get hurt. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. My thinking, usually you learn more from your pain. Secondary, really, yeah. Sometimes you learn more from your pain than from when everything is going like la di da, everything is going well. No, don't trust, man. Trust and be vulnerable and be at a place where you are prepared to get hurt. And even if things don't come together, can you do that? Can I do that? That's the question that you and I have to ask ourselves. Do I only have faith when things when things are falling into place, or when things are going well, or can I confidently say that no, I trust Him. How can I confidently say that? And if there's a little bit of doubt, um, the thing is, I don't know, I might contradict myself here, but you know what? uh, uh, faith is not the absence of doubt. It's like or the absence of fear. No, it's not. It's you and I. We move. We still go while we are shaking in our pants, man. We still go. While you are afraid, you still go. While you are unsure, you still go. Why is that? Because that is faith, isn't it? That is faith. And and I think let me just bring up another one here quickly. Um, Let me bring up another one quickly. Um, the, 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 um, we have to make sure that um, that we understand why does faith matter today? Why does it matter today? Is because faith gives us divine perspective. It gives us divine perspective. It gives us the ability to 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 see things from so many different perspectives. And the thing is that is even more important is when we see things from a divine perspective. Um, um, Give me 1 second. Um, all right. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of like just bring those bits up this evening. Um, Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. My apologies. When the little ones uh, are about to run through the door. All right. Yeah, I just want to let me just let me just mention a couple more things here, and then we'll wrap it up. Um, the next one I want to bring up is that faith gives me health today, and we know that because now I'm trusting God, even though maybe my health don't feel like it's where it's supposed to be, but by faith I can receive my healing. Yeah, it gives me strength for today. Why is that? Because because even if I'm weak, because he strengthens, he gives us strength. And faith gives us resilience. Why does it give us resilience? Because we know that we can continue to push. We can continue to um, reach out for what we can't see, because we walk by faith, because we're not moved by what we see. Okay. So I want to leave us with a question today. And the question is this: if you and I, and which we are, spiritual beings, and we know that um, everything that we see around us, everything that we experience, everything uh, that we that we've obtained in the past, or what will obtain in the future, it will come from the spiritual realm. Yeah. Now the question that I want to pose to us today is how to what scale do you see? Where do you see in terms of the importance? Where do you put the importance of faith, the importance of the unseen, the importance of um, not walking only by your physical side, and believing that there are greater things ahead of your life can be turned into something brilliant, or that God can do something with your life. Where do you put that? Do you really believe that? Can you see that? Can you are you at a place where you actually walk that out? um, because that's the only way how you and I will be able to obtain whatever it is that we're after, is uh, becoming bigger in this, from a spiritual perspective. Um, not just moving because I can see a thing, having the courage to do something, even if I'm scared, man. Even if I'm scared, just kind of like freak yourself out, man, and say, yeah, let's just do it. Let's let's just do it. So, but this will ruin us. Yeah, I know, but let's just do it. Oh man. Ah, I believe it's time for us just go for it, man. Whatever it is that you're after, just go for it. Just go for it. And believe that God has your back. You gotta believe that, man. You gotta believe that. I gotta believe that. And I think um I, you can't fake this. You can't. You can't fake trust. Trust can't be fake. You can't fake results. Can't be faked, isn't it? Um, you can try to and might get away with it for a few days, but it will catch up with you. So the question is, um, walk is another question, but the statement I want to throw out to us: how confidently do you walk as a spiritual being? Because that's the real you. That's the real you. That's the real me, isn't it? So so yeah, gentlemen, that's kind of like, I know this would have been more fruitful if there was a multiple of um different faces or bodies in here to have a proper conversation. But that's what I have for this evening. Just continue to stay on top of your game by being more spiritual. Um, and remember when I said earlier, being spiritual, I don't necessarily mean be more Christian like. No, I'm pay attention to the unseen. There are things around you and I that man, and it's evident that because I'm kind of like going off the, remember earlier I was saying faith is not a Christian or a religious thing. We just call it faith because it's but it's talking about the unseen. It's talking about uh, it's talking about uh, yes, because we are Christians. So when we talk about faith, we kind of like relate to it more powerfully when we're talking about, all right, we're talking about the word, we're talking about God and all of that. But we know that even people out there, they move, or they do things before they can see it, isn't it? So what are they doing? They might have faith in in themselves, or they might have faith in somebody or something else, but it's still faith. Because what is faith is when you do things before you can see it. It's when you move without being too much linked to your physical senses, isn't it? So, but be that. Don't just reach for what is right in front of you. Go for, trust God that because we have the advantage. We have the advantage that because we can believe God, that He will assist us when we say, all right, I'm walking by faith here. I'm trusting your word, and I will go for it. And then you go for it. Why? Because you are a spiritual being. Okay. All right, that's me. I'm done for today. Hopefully this helped somebody. Hopefully this has encouraged somebody. But I still wanted to stay on here just to make sure that somebody gets blessed. But listen here. Remember that the growth is your responsibility. Remember that you are responsible for where you're going and in how your life is turning out. It's just take on that responsibility and make sure that you don't put it in somebody else's hand. It's yours. Okay. And when things don't go according to plan, you can still turn it around. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It was good coming on here and just share what's on my heart. Yeah. Have an amazing week. And I shall see y'all next week. All right. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye bye now. Bye.